Hello everyone. Today we've got I guess you call it a surprise coming to the videos and to the channel, and this room is actually part of it. So we're getting ready to start, I wouldn't say a major overhaul in here, but a pretty major overhaul. And I'll walk you around here in just a second, but like I said, this is going to be something exciting for the channel. And this room is Redneck Ricky's old bedroom. It's not very big. I've honestly had walk-in closets that were bigger. This is a 5x7. It does have a built-in closet and 4 built-in dresser drawers, which only 2 of them work. But he had lights up and around, and we've got to get all of this tape off of here somehow. I may try a putty knife. I'm not sure what I'm going to try yet. But our biggest thing is, and I'm going to blind you guys here for just a minute. See that light? Let's turn that light off. Oh, no. Let me turn the hall light on. Alright, that's not going to help any, I don't think. Anyways, that is the only means of lighting in here. You have to walk across the room to turn it on because it's switched right here. And believe it or not, they have even, see if I can get this up out of here. This is how rigged up it is. There's not even a plug in this bedroom. So they've had to come down with part of an extension cord to give plugs, and there's a plug right here on it. So that's my first thing that we're going to try to do. Let me get you away from the light so I can turn the light back on, and there we go. Okay, so, since we know that there's power, let me back you up quite a bit. I'm sorry for that bright light. There's nothing I can do about it. So we know that there's power here. It is a non-switched power, which means it's live all the time. The power is in the light. Well, there is a seam in the ceiling right here. And right beside you guys, I need a light switch, which would be right going toward the outside door. You can see where I redid the door a long time ago. So hopefully I can get this peeled back and this part of this ceiling up here peeled back from here that way. And then do the same thing. Gonna blind you again. Over here, you can see there's a seam. And get it peeled back and maybe get some wire up in there. So that's going to be the first thing. I'm not going to put it on a time lapse because honestly I don't know how. So I'm just going to pull you guys back out of here like this, put you in the hallway, and we're going to see what we can get done. We've got the bedroom all cleared out. I'm going to have to go get a hammer. Alright, now that we've went and got all the tools that we needed, let me try to get this piece of trim down, and then I'll know a little bit more what I can do. Try to be careful with it because even though I don't plan on using it again, I might have to because that's a pretty big gap in there. I don't think I can get that nail out of there. Yeah, I can. Landed right on my shirt. Alright, so now what I gotta do, I know I'm going to cut those ends. Let's just get in here. Well, that was pretty easy. Alright, I'm going to have to cut. I don't know how to explain it. But in this room, there is a little, almost like a bead that goes around up here. That actually protrudes out. It looks like a small piece of rope A lot of the older trailers have it. But I'm going to have to, as you can see like over here, I'm going to have to get that cut out of there. So let me get my tools and stuff together and see how hard it's going to be to cut that out of there. And then maybe we can get that ceiling to drop down. This might not be as hard as what I thought. Alright, I got a little bit farther, but it wasn't without problems, which I'll show you on the other side. This in here didn't go too bad. This is like a masonite ceiling, and I got one little rip, but this ceiling's getting textured, so it shouldn't matter. Got the wall pulled away. I'll get all this cleaned out, get my boxes put in. Over on this wall that you guys are looking at now, we're going to have one light switch. Yeah, I've got a hammer holding the wall out. We're going to have one light switch, 2 plugs. Over here, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I would like, you can see where it looks kind of like there's a plug. That's not, that was a cable outlet that come in. Yeah, no power in the room, so to speak, but they did have cable. But that, I got rid of that a long time ago. I was trying to think if it's worth my effort and time. As you can see what I get up here. Let that light adjust on you guys. This is my problem area. Yes, it did rip, but there is a seam that goes right here. So I can just put a little piece in here and screw up, and I don't think I have any problem. I am trying to figure out how to run my wire in this area. They beefed up this area, it looks like, and you can see this nasty window. That goes this summer. I've already ordered windows for that. Well, I haven't ordered them, I found them. That's an old jalousie window. It does have the storm window in it. Right now, I'm leaving it where it's at. And I think the frame is good, even though a little bit down below it is rotten. And it's not really rotten. I mean, it's still fairly substantial. But the paneling is delaminating. I'll probably take the outside laminate off of it and texture it. And I think it'll be just fine. But anyways, I just don't know if it's going to be worth trying to run a wire in here or not. This is over to my next stud. There's a stud. I could probably do it without much trouble. I just would like to have one extra plug in this room. I don't think I can achieve it over on this wall. I know I can't achieve it on this wall. So that does look like my only option. So anyways, they were out of electrical wire. Go figure. I bought the last switch cover that they had. And I had to buy oversized plug covers. Which they're going to be hidden by a desk, so I don't really care. And they don't look bad anyways. But that's, and I can see now I had to buy an oversized switch cover. I didn't even know that. I bought the last one that they had. They had tons of bone color, which would have worked throughout the rest of the house, but this room is going to be white. So just to let you know, we're going to run electrical. 2 plugs on this wall, 1 plug on that wall. Probably going to do away with that light. We're going to put an overhead light in, which I got to remember that. It will be switched. And button it all back together. Take the laminate off of underneath that little part of the wall below the window. And pre-texture it. And then I got a few little oopses on the closet doors. I don't know how well that's going to show up in camera. But like right here, it's like part of the laminate's missing. There's a couple on the dresser drawer down there. We'll pre-do those. We'll go around and fill out our holes and everything. And get these. Oh, that comes off pretty easy by hand there. Yeah, that come off pretty easy. So anyways, we got to get that off. Of course, the texturing will probably hide that, but I know it's kind of like a cloth tape, and I'm afraid that the texturing would just soften it up and bubble and look like crap. So I can see I got another seam there to take off, another seam there to take off. And, oh, I don't know if I showed you or not, but, goodness gracious, how embarrassing. Sneeze on camera. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's wasp nest up in there. They're not active anymore. And I see some darkness from old water damage. Once again, it's dry as a bone, so I don't think I have any problems. And I think once I put this all back together, that'll disappear, especially once I texture it. So now comes the fun part. I have to go try to find electrical. So I don't even know where to or how to or what to do on that. So let me go see what I can do on that. Don't go anywhere. This video ain't over. In this video, you're probably going to get to see all this all put back together with electrical in it. And maybe some skim coating on texturing. So don't go anywhere. So now that we've got the electrical done, which I'll go ahead and show you that. And I've also done a lot of the seams and nail holes and stuff like that. Kind of fast forwarded a little bit. Watching some of that stuff is really boring, but we're getting ready to start texturing the ceiling here in just a minute. But I'm to that point to where I'm ready for that. Now, when I pan you around and you see this window, don't freak out. It is nasty. But it will be cleaned. And I have new windows coming. I do believe, I don't remember the exact date, but it was the end of July, beginning of August. And I'll explain that here in just a minute. So basically you can see I've already done some seams here. And then if you remember over here, there used to be a light right here. You can almost kind of see the outline of it. And moved it, I've got it temporarily up here. And yes, that's just temporary. But you can see I got a plug up over here. I know that's extremely high. But I plan on putting a flat screen TV up here. You know, it'll be up in this area somewhere, so the plug will be behind it. Excuse me. And then I put a plug down here. That's on the far wall. Then I put in a light switch that does work. Never had one before, as I explained in the beginning of the video. And then down here I put in two plugs because this is where the computer desk is going to go. And then up here we just have a temporary light hanging up there right now. And don't worry, there is a box under there. This seam that you see is actually a 2x4. And I attached the box right to it and then dropped my wires. I just haven't, excuse me, I haven't cut out for it yet. Now let's explain this window because it's like the elephant in the room and it's got to be talked about. I keep tripping over this little thing here that I've got to stand on to do the ceiling. Alright, that looks really bad. What happened in here, there's a bunch of cobwebs and I had this window out. And then a lot of the stuff that I was doing up here fell in there and hung on the cobwebs. And then down here is really dirty. And then the panes of glass are kind of mildewy in between because it's a jalousie window. So it's multiple windows that open like this, however it works. So that'll be opened up and all cleaned out. And then a lot of this you see on the corners is where somebody had painted on the outside to do. We're going to clean it up. We're going to spend a little bit of time on it, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because that window will be replaced. I've got an exact fit. That's why you'll see when I added my trim around it, which is just, it's a temporary, but it's permanent trim. You know, I left enough room that I can actually take this whole window, the inside storm window and the outside window out, and then have a direct replacement window go in there. So now that that's explained, and I'm sorry that it's so dirty, I just haven't got a chance to get out there and clean it yet. Let's get started on this ceiling. So we've got everything in here, the nail holes and all that taken care of. Yeah, I did mess up and put all my plug covers on. I'll have to take them off before I start texturing the walls. I just wasn't thinking. I was in a hurry. I was kind of in the mode to do an electrical, and I just threw them on, and it's like, wait a minute. You got to take them right back off. Not a problem. So let's slide this little stool over here, and we'll get our hands all nasty. So I'm not going to film all of this. I'm going to film maybe a quarter of this ceiling, and then I'll finish the rest because you guys don't want to watch this forever. So I'm just going to reach down in there, grab me a big old handful, and start putting it on. It'll take me a minute to get into the groove of doing this. It has been a little while since I've textured. Yeah, now I want to drop a lot of it. I hope I'm in shot for you guys. And if you guys see any darkness on the walls or the ceiling, no, it's not water leaks. It's just the moisture from this mud where I was doing the seams and stuff. You just keep grabbing handfuls until you get a certain amount that you want. And like I said, I'll wipe most of this back off, which you'll see here in just a minute. Now I'm going to shut up now and just let you guys watch, and we'll get as far as we can. It doesn't matter which way you spread it on, whether you go this way or that way, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be texturing anyways. Alright, so I think that's about as far as I can reach. Now I'll take the blade of my hand, and what I mean by the blade of my hand is this part right here on either side, and I'll start taking most of it back off. Go around and do my edges. And as I take it back off, I put it in my other hand, and I just put it back in the bucket. Because I don't want a thick texture, especially on this ceiling. So I'm blading most of it back off. And wherever I need to, I'll put a little back on. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So now, I'll clean my hands off the best that I can, scraping them off on the bucket. And then once I got that done, then I'll just start texturing. Like I said, I'm not trying for a pattern. By no means, I don't want a pattern. That's just my preference. Yours preference could be different. That doesn't make me wrong, it doesn't make you wrong. I can tell I'm out of practice on doing this because I'm already starting to get wore out. I had to wipe a little bit more off in that area. It got a little thick. I'll move my stool just a little bit here in a minute once I get all the walls and the ceiling lines looking good. Alright, now I'll move my stool and I'll come over here and I'll do this little edge here. And I want to go out past the center. You know, that the seam that you see on there is basically the center. But I want to go out past that. That way, when I texture on the other side, it doesn't look, you know, if my texture happens to meet up with each other, it doesn't look like there's a seam there. You'll figure that out pretty quick once you start doing it. I'll get down, I'll take a look at it. I'm not happy right here. Now I'm happy. And that's it. Now, I'm going to have a hard time moving you guys around. So, let's see. How are we going to do this? Because I don't have a clean finger to pause this video. So let me try this. Alright, so there we go. I actually decided to come on this side of the light because I know the light is dead in the center. So that way I'm a little over halfway done. When I say a little over, I mean maybe 8 inches over halfway done. So basically halfway done. I went through and kind of nitpicked it a little bit, but I can see I want to nitpick it some more. So I'm not going to make you guys sit here and keep watching this, but I will kind of bring you up a little bit different and show you maybe different lighting areas. There's definitely no pattern to it. I find that when I try to make patterns, that's when it doesn't start looking as good. So let's bring you guys back over here. So there it is. I'm trying to block that light so it doesn't blind you guys. So there it is. I can see it's a little heavy right here. So once I'm all done with the whole ceiling. Oh, and by the way, that took me about 5 minutes. You guys will have to time it. But I think it took me about 5 minutes on that side and about 4 minutes on this side because I'm starting to get used to it. So I'll definitely have this whole ceiling done in less than 20 minutes of time if I'm not talking to the camera and all that good stuff. And I think one bucket, let me get you down here just a little bit, get away from that ugly window. Okay, I think one bucket is going to actually do the ceiling. Goodness gracious. I gotta get rid of this cough. But I'm on so many pills for my medical reasons. Having a heart attack, well, having a couple heart attacks. And I feel like I got I just got it. And diabetic and all that good stuff. I don't want to add another pill to help suppress cough. But I'm getting tired of it. It's getting aggravating. Hopefully it'll eventually go away. Anyways, I think one bucket, and these buckets, the last time I bought one, they were about 15. They're probably 18, or they're less than 20, I'm sure. So $20, and, well, you figure if this takes me 20, this wall is going to take me 20. That's 40. I bet less than an hour and a half and less than $20. I'm going to texture this whole room. So it's well worth it to me. And you've seen, like, down here, you know, where that was wavy, and I told you I was going to cut a layer off and then skim it, and that's what I did. And then up there where the hole was, you know, yeah, I could probably sand that out and everything and get that smooth. But these are paneled walls, which have, I don't know if I can make the light shine on them or not, but like right here, there's a groove, there's a groove, there's a groove, there's a groove, and you can feel them. Hear them? So you have to recreate those to make it look right. I don't like the looks of paneled walls, so anyways, let me get this ceiling done and I'll bring you guys back and maybe we'll get started on the walls real quick. Alright, so got the ceiling done. I don't know, I'm just trying to kind of spin you guys around so you can see all the different lines and everything. Now I want to show you something else that to me is kind of important to do in mobile homes. And I'm not going to show you all of it, I'm just going to show you real quick on this wall. Like I said, if you'll listen, you can hear that? That's the lines in the paneling, which is going to show up as you can see up here. So I'm going to show you how to real quick do that. And that's to get some texturing on your thing and just go down a couple of them and then more turn your blade sideways. I'm probably blocking the camera. It might, oh, see, I just got a hold of my light switch, which that's got to come off there. It might be easier for you to just take the blade of your hand and go over it. You know, I don't want to demonstrate that because I don't want to have to go wash my hands again before I cut the camera off. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of fill them up real quick. And this does not take very long at all. I'll get a little bit more on my knife and do these two over here in this corner, which I know I'm blocking, but I'm doing the same thing I was doing over there, so you guys get the general idea. And then I'll try to get out of your way here, and then I'm going to run just straight down, straight down, straight down. It's a very quick process. Get that excess off there. And now you can see that those lines have gotten bright. So now, instead of you trying to look over here where you can't really see the lines, now you can. Let that dry about 30 minutes, and once that dries, then you can start texturing the walls. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, try to get a good proportion of this done, and then we'll come back and we'll start texturing walls. Alright, so I've got you guys moved all over the place. So anyways, as you can see, now those white lines are really prominent. And that's what I was trying to fill up. So basically the whole room is done. All the way around, even back behind the door. So everything is done. So now I'm going to give it about 30 minutes to dry because it's real thin. What you see over here, that's old. That was put on, I don't know, a couple days ago. So that's already dried. The rest of it, like I said, it's not even a millimeter thick. So it's not going to take but just a few minutes for it to dry. So we got that done. The ceiling's done. Next we're going to come in here and probably start texturing that wall right over there with light switches. And I did pull all my plug covers and everything off too. So don't go anywhere. We're not done with this video yet. In this video, you're going to see from start to finish, adding electric, as you've seen earlier in the video, texturing, well, preparing the whole room, then texturing the ceiling, and now we're going back and doing a little extra prep, and we're going to get this thing textured. So in this video, you will see it completely textured. Don't go anywhere. It's only going to take like a second for you guys and about 30 minutes for me. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes to an hour. And I'm going to, yeah, that's all perfectly dry. Alright, so let's start texturing. And once again, just like the other video, oh, sorry about that, it's loud. Just throwing the bucket down there. Bucket lid, I guess I should say. So, like before, you know, I'm not going to bore you with the whole texturing the whole room. So we're going to do this wall here. You can see the edge of the door here, all the way over to here. And we're going to get it done. It's just basically kind of to show you how I do it. Not necessarily showing you how to do it, I'm just showing you how I do it. And then if you decide to take that and do it on your own, then that's up to you. So let's get some spackling on the wall here. We're just going to kind of put it anywhere to begin with. I'm hoping I've got enough to do this whole room. I think I do. And now what I'm starting to do now is thin it down on the wall just a little bit. Not to final thin yet. That'll come later. Hold on. Okay, sorry about the interruption there. That was a phone call. It was actually a business call for Colton. Colton's going to start his own mowing company here. Just, you know, a little, nothing major, you know, just basically here in the park for some people. And that was one of the ladies here. She's like, yeah, we want him to do ours. And so, anyways, sorry about the interruption. So basically all I'm doing is getting a full coverage. Now up here in the corners, that's where I always have my problems. Trying to get them corners up there to look great. And sometimes it's hard to do, sometimes it's easy to do. So we'll just get it all, everything covered that we want to texture. And then, you know, like I said, we'll take the majority of this back off. Because we don't want a thick coat of this stuff. At least I don't want a thick coat of it. And now I'm going to start blading it back off. And when I say blading, I'm just talking about the edge of my hand here. And I'm not pushing like really hard to get it all off. I'm just pushing fairly light just to get the majority of it off. Because I'm putting a lot on, but then I'm taking a lot back off. And then now that we got that done, I clean my hand just a little bit, you know, not perfect, but just a little. And then I start texturing. And that's just going in my circles without doing a pattern. And there's a little something right there. I'm not sure what that was, but it was brown. It may look like I'm kind of going in a pattern. Well, there that pieces again. It didn't come off my finger or what? But, you know, then once I've got it started, then I really make it look like it's definitely not a pattern. And I'm going to clean this little edge off with my clean finger. Go all the way down. And that's just, oh, there's something else in there. There was something gritty on that wall, or maybe in my bucket or on my hand or something. Like I said, sometimes getting your edges and up in here perfect is kind of hard, but you can do it. I think that's it. So just like that, we've textured half this wall. Now, instead of going to this, or to the bottom of this wall, we're going to move to this wall. But I got to go check my phone. I just heard a message, and it's my son, Ricky. He has his own ringtone. All right, sorry for the next interruption. I brought my phone with me this time. So now this time, we're going to try to go over that seam, just like on the ceiling. And there it is again. Okay. So, kind of like on the ceiling, I never want my seams to be to where they look like seams. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to start putting some on. Going up as close to the ceiling as we want to for now. let's get you guys over here where I'm not quite blocking your view all the time. Let's try that. Sorry about that. I don't claim to be a great cameraman. And I got to run that seam up there. You try to do it without getting much on the ceiling or the other wall, but sometimes it happens. Move some stuff out of the way here. And we'll come over to about that second line. About right in there somewhere. And this will wear your arms out. Now, I just did the ceiling about, probably an hour and a half ago. And then I did all this, the lines, about an hour, 45 minutes ago, something like that. Maybe only 30 minutes. And like I said, right now I'm not thinning yet. Right now I'm just kind of trying to spread it on even, so then I can thin. And go down to where it's comfortable for you to reach. I probably didn't go down far enough on the other wall yet, but I will. That way when you go down there and you sit down on the floor, you know, you're able to reach easily the other parts. Let's get all the way over that line. Once again, I'm not thinning, I'm just spreading. We'll thin as soon as we get enough spreaded on. Spreaded? I don't think that's a word. Spread on. And we'll go down just a little bit more. I don't mind bending over just a little bit. It's easier to bend over than it is to stretch when you're down on the floor. So we'll go down about that low. I know you guys can't see that. Just below my hip. Alright, so we got a little bit more over here to finish up. And I feel another little, it's probably like dry drywall or mud or something. Alright, now that we got it pretty much covered, I'm going to go ahead and cover this other wall down as low as I've done this wall. And you can see how much more that is. That way, like I said, instead of setting down and trying to stretch, all I'm doing is bending over just a little bit up here. I'm not really sure why, but that drywall mud is not sticking. I mean, it's sticking to the wall, but it doesn't feel like it is at first. Maybe it's because the walls are cold or something from the other stuff being put on, you know, filling the lines. I wouldn't think so, but it's not going to be a problem, that's for sure, because it is, once you hit it twice, it does stick really good. Alright, gonna switch sides over here, try not to block you guys, but I gotta use a little more delicacy around this light switch, because I don't want drywall mud all over my light switch. It's easy enough to clean off, but if I don't have to, I don't want to. Oh, and I just dropped a big glob on the floor. All right. And once again, it's not thinned out yet. Now we're going to start thinning. So, clean off the blade of my hand as well as I can. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to start thinning. Normally when I'm thinning, I don't stop to put it back in the bucket. I put it in my other hand, but I'm trying to keep one hand halfway clean so I can work the camera. Now, believe it or not, considering we got 2 closet doors on that side that pretty much go floor to ceiling between the closet doors and the drawers below it, that takes up about that much room. I'm almost half done already. Well, once I do the bottom. I guess got to do the bottom to be able to consider it halfway done. But this doesn't take very long. I would say in less than an hour, I'll have this whole room spackled, textured, whatever you want to call it. Does anybody out there know why they call this spackle? Is that just something that is a northern thing or what? I mean, you know, you go into Lowe's and you ask for spackling, this is what you get, drywall mud. Is that an old-fashioned term or what is that? I know I get asked a lot when I'm doing it and I'm showing it on video like this. I'll call it spackling and people will say, what's that mean? Well, it's not really the texturing because it's the spackle that we use just to even do drywall. That's the second time I dropped a big glob there. All right, so there we go. It's all thinned out. First we'll do up around the ceilings as best as we can. So let's get you guys over here, and I think your camera's getting ready to die. Let me go see if I can get a charger real quick. Better put you on pause. All right, I think I made it without the battery dying. All right, so once again, let's get right up here and start texturing. That's a little thick, so I'll rub that top line off. There we go. Now, let's try to texture. Right up to the ceiling. Ah, man, it seems to be real thick right in that area. Look at that. But, once again, you can just pull it right off and then retexture it. Here I'm kind of trying to deal with the ceiling and this other line of this wall. The corners and the edges, like I've said a million times, are the hardest. They're easy to do. They're just hard to get to look exactly the way that you want it. Up in there. I don't know if I skipped it or what. I know I'm in your way again, but sometimes you just got to get in certain positions to get the correct pattern, or not pattern, in your texturing. We'll come over here. And then I'll run a finger right at the top really lightly because the top is almost dried. The ceiling, I guess I should say. All right, that all looks good. Now all we got to do is texture over here. And like I said, it may look to you like I'm doing a pattern. Whew. My arms are getting tired. It may look to you like I'm doing a pattern, but I promise you I'm not. And then once I get the majority of it done, then, you know, I go in and I make some big loops and some smaller loops and try to keep my corners looking halfway decent. I think that's it. Oh, don't like that. See, when you're first putting it on, you're kind of going in a back and forth pattern. And, you know, just kind of side to side, get it textured. And then after that, you go back and you put in just random loops. So anyways, that is all I'm going to waste your guys' time. I don't know, this video might be an hour long now, but I wanted to show you guys getting some stuff done. So we went from a room, got it all cleaned out, got it all ready to go. We got it all textured and everything. Well, the ceiling textured. All the plugs are in and everything. And we're still not done. I'll bring you guys back and show you the finished product of the texturing. And then on the next video, you guys will see painting, ceiling, walls, and it's all going the same color. And laying laminate flooring. And that'll be on the next video. But don't leave anywhere yet. I'm going to go texture, and you guys are going to take a split second break and come back and it'll all be done. Hold on. And boom, just like that, we're done. Boom. Yeah, boom. But anyways, so all the texturing is done. I got a little bit of cleanup to do still. I cleaned up the floor, got out some of the tools and stuff. But I still have to go like here and clean up all the edges, get the texturing off of it, and same way around the window ledge or the window frame. Did get the one problem over here fixed. If you guys remember, that bowed up and caused a bump. And I basically, what I did is I just kind of like cut it out. And you can see all this is like a paper style stuff glued to multi-layers, and it's just not much. But anyways, as you can see, you know, it bumped up a little bit, and I just went along with the razor blade down the side, cut it. Last night, smoothed it out, you know, just filled in mud until it was smooth. And then this morning I textured it. Of course, it's dry now. But I have noticed up here that I have some more. I don't even know if they'll even show up on camera. They're so light. You can see this over here cracked, which I'll fill it up here in just a few minutes. That's simple and easy to do, and that'll dry almost instantly. But over here you can see a few of them, but I think once I paint it, you won't see it. So, anyways, let me get you down here, back down here on the subject here. Let's get you not looking at that light constantly. There we go. So anyways, everything's textured. I got maybe 10 minutes worth of cleanup work to do. I want to take the drawers out. I'm not going to take the doors off, so I'm just going to take the two drawers out, paint them separately. It's all going white doors and drawers and walls and ceiling with a dark hardwood floor. Well, darker. It's not really dark, but it's darker than what I've got throughout the house. And of course, that'll be on the next video. So here we went from a nasty little room to adding, what, 3 plugs and a light switch and a light above us. Got rid of the mess that was up here with the electrical. Did some patchwork, textured everything, got it all ready to paint and all that. So if you guys like these kind of videos, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below. And if you made it this far in the video, comment down below. I'm trying to think of a really cool word. Comment down below drywall. And, you know, if you did make it this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know this has been a little bit of a long-winded video, but I wanted to get more accomplished in one video. And the same way, the next video will be painting, ceiling, walls, doors, drawer fronts. Everything will be 100% painted. We'll get laminate floor laid, and we'll get the trim up. So, and who knows what else. So, I'm going to start producing a little bit longer videos. Anyways, like I said, if you guys like this kind of video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, like and subscribe. Join us on Facebook under General Vlog Video. I think that's all I'm going to ask of you. Of course, that's asking a whole lot. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and even better tomorrow and an awesome night. And we'll see you on the next video or the next live stream. And with that being said, please, please, please be safe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.